Hello, welcome back. We are looking at there and the verb to be. It's a really typical structure in English and also a typical structure in Spanish, but Spanish speakers of English will normally avoid it. I don't know why, but it tends to be avoided. So this is simply to practice that. So, there is a book on the table, ein libro en la mesa. That's it. It's just to practice that. There was, there were, there has been, there have been, there should have been, there could have been. Lots of structures with there and the verb to be. In a moment we will answer the questions, the 10 questions, with full sentence answers. See you in a moment. Hello again. We have the answer to there and the verb to be, number 1. So yeah, remember, there with the verb to be is very common in both Spanish and in English, but it's typically avoided. So remember, we can use there as the subject, quite often in fact. Number 1, if there are humans, why do monkeys exist? That's the sort of question you might ponder when you're in the shower. Yeah, why do monkeys still exist if humans exist? Very strange. So, I don't know why monkeys still exist if there are humans. If there were an exhibit of modern culture, would you go? Absolutely. If there were an exhibit on modern culture, I would definitely go. If there were several on your visit list, where would you visit first? Okay, so if there were several places, let's use places in fact, okay? If there were several places on my visit list, I would visit Africa first, I think. If there has been a democratic republic for many years, why do you bother to vote? Considering that there has been a democratic republic for many years, I continue to vote because my vote does count. It does make a difference. If there had been an election last week, who would you have voted for? I don't know who I would have voted for if there had been an election last year, or last week even. If there would be a way to learn perfect English, or in my case, Spanish, in 1 week, would you pay 100,000 euros? If I had 100,000 euros, and if there would be a way to learn Spanish perfectly in 1 day, I would possibly consider paying that. If I had 100,000 euros. I don't. I'm a teacher. Come on. If you were 20 years younger, could there be any difference in your learning process? Now, a lot of people say this, you know, if I were younger, the learning process is more easy, but the reality is, if you work hard and you concentrate, you study, you can learn anything you want to. So, there would be a difference in my learning process if I were 20 years younger, definitely, for me, because I would be a child. Okay. Do you think there ought to be more bilingual schools if the state had the money? Yes, if the state had the money, I think there should be, or there ought to be, more bilingual schools, or even trilingual schools. If the GDP of Spain increased twofold, might there be a chance you would retire? Yes, there might be a chance I would retire if the GDP of Spain increased twofold. So maybe it would be a bit easier to make some money and retire a bit earlier. But the possibility of that happen is, the expression, slim to none. It's like very small chance of happening to no chance of happening. Okay, very strange questions, so it was just a case of practicing there with the verb to be. Not very logical sentences, but you get the idea. Remember, you can use there with the verb to be a lot. There is, there are, there was, there were, there has been, there have been. Okay, we'll see you in the next class, which is to have something done. Okay, see you then. Bye-bye.